This episode, I had Vanessa as a guest. She is bubbly and fun and shared a lot with us. We spoke about her viral video. We spoke about her leaving Christianity. We talked about fake friends and how she is raising her children with her partner. It's a really deep conversation. I hope you enjoy. Welcome to the check-in with me, your host, Sade Salami. This is where we talk to interesting people with interesting stories. And with that being said, Vanessa, let's check in.
Hey, I'm here.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah?
Grateful, tired. But I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right, I'm all right. I'm like, this is our first recording of this new pod, so I'm very excited. Don't know if it'll come out first though, but It's definitely the first recording. Do you know what I mean?
Exciting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, before we get into your story, some people might have seen you before. They
Yeah.
might have seen one of your viral videos.
Yeah.
It's been doing around on social media and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, I like to ask people to tell me a moment of joy that they've had in the past week.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so my eldest daughter turned 3 on
bless.
the 1st of May.
Oh.
And just that entire day was packed with moments. Just seeing her just turn older and be celebrated. It was just, that day just gave me joy. And it's a privilege to parent her alongside Josiah, and also a beautiful village that took a while to create. So that was just everything to me. Notably her dancing to her favourite Arabic song called Yama.
Okay.
What she screamed off the top of her lungs. And,
yeah,
and was just dancing.
So
it just gave me so much joy.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely.
What about you?
Got feet. My moment of joy. To be fair, I had a couple, but this past bank holiday, I actually spoke at, let's say, I'll call it a family function at the moment. Kind of gave a speech, but it was in memorial to my dad, and I don't know. It was just I was so happy that I'd done it because I wasn't going to. So
Wow.
that was my moment of joy, I would say.
That's very noble. No, yeah.
But yeah, I try and push myself every now and again. It's really hard sometimes, I think, to face your fears, especially when you get older and stuff as well, because you can fall into just doing what you normally do, so I wouldn't normally speak of those things. I wouldn't normally attend.
Wow.
So actually
that was big. Well done.
Talking and stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, the intersect between grief and joy is really interesting.
Yeah,
so for you to push yourself past that and then find joy as a result, it's beautiful.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, they say that grief is for the living, right? It's for the living. That whole process is for us, and how we process the love that has nowhere to go. I heard that somewhere, but yeah,
that's deep.
But we are going to be getting deep today. We are getting deep today. Let's get straight into it. So, if someone has been living under a rock, what would they have missed with this viral video? What happened? What did you put out there and why? Let's start there.
Perfect question. I, after a couple of years, heard a series of voice notes from an old sister in Christ, one that I met at university during ministry times, and one that I'd introduced to my fiance to be an artist manager. And she kind of used her position to produce a false prophecy.
Right.
To my partner that me and him would split due to many factors, including, how fat I am, how fat I might be making him.
Jesus.
The fact that I'm feral and I'm a feminist, and the list goes on. And in my way of processing it, I had to dance to it because I was like, if I do not dance, I will crash out. I had to dance to these voice notes to expose kind of this culture of false prophecy, but also to kind of reclaim, let's say, joy or freedom for all the times that, not only for that moment, but all the times that people have tried to impose something in the name of God towards me.
This is so uncomfortable for me to have to prophesy, knowing that I may not come to pass, or knowing that it could just be my thoughts, but I'm going to trust that I'm supposed to say it as it is. Oh, Lord, help me. I see you and V splitting. You getting married to one fine, beautiful slimmers. If that's your type anyway, I don't know what your type is, but somebody who compliments you well and loves you genuinely for who you are and wants to build a family with you and wants you to grow. Oh my gosh, you know what? Why am I even trying to add words into there? Give me a sec. Right.
I can't lie. When I saw the video, when it came in my feeds, I was laughing. I was laughing hard because I feel like it's a particular type of humour.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not everyone's kind of humour, to be fair. But like interpretive dance to something that's causing you pain, oh my God. Like there's levels. But I was cracking up. But I was also like, oh my God, what happened here? Like I was really curious of like how this came to be in the first place. Yeah. Okay, so you heard the voice notes.
Yeah.
And what was your first reaction to them?
So, before, when the whole, like, palaver happened, Josiah would have only just summarised what was
Josiah,
said.
for the people?
My fiancé. Josiah's my fiancé.
Okay.
And he would have summarised what was said. I think out of convenience, we weren't together, like, physically in the same space. Like, I was at my mum's house, he was at home.
Okay.
And he probably wouldn't have wanted me to, like, be super angry and probably crash out at the time. Yeah, my first reaction to her was literally like, you're vindictive. I'm blocking you by. I saw her reply quickly. No, it's not. But for me, it was like, I'm going through too much. As long as you're out of my space and away from me, and you don't have access to me, you can go. So now a couple of years later, we're kind of like, she's reached out to me through my sister because she's blocked and everything, and saying, I miss you so much. I'm sorry for saying this. And the things she was apologising for, she didn't actually say. She was introducing new things, which were even arguably worse. Basically saying like, sorry for saying that if you wanted to enjoy your happy family and live long, you have to look after your health. So, yeah, she said that.
Wow.
Right. And I was just thinking, the cheek of you to say, like, because I hadn't even listened to the full voice notes.
Right, okay.
Like, at the time. And...
Sorry. Let me understand this. So you received the voice note. When did you receive the voice notes, or when did you know about them?
So my fiance received the voice notes at the end of like 2024.
2024.
And he let me know about them after like 2 days of like processing and trying to discern them.
Right, okay.
And this is a whole thing. Like everyone's dragging him, and it'll be so interesting to one day have him try and explain himself. But he thought it's a phone call at the time. But he did paraphrase to me things that were said. But then after her messaging me to try and reconnect with me, we were like processing, like, why would she even feel comfortable to say that? Then we were going through the chats, and we saw like 5 voice notes, and he was like, rah, like, they're here. And then I just listened to them literally a few weeks ago.
Right.
Sat on them for 3 weeks. Like, I was fuming, and I was like, nah. Like, I had a few moments I was like, I need to do something with this, because back then I didn't actually listen to the actual material. Yeah. And that was my first time actually hearing what was said out of her mouth. And I was like, okay, like, I've got to dance. and I will dance and put this out there. I think primarily I posted it because I've been quite notorious for being quite critical of religion and Christianity specifically. And people always kind of trivialise that. Because of the story of, you know, it's a church is a hospital, like, you shouldn't leave the church because people hurt you. But I'm like, that trivialises church hurt. And I thought, like, if people had a vivid example of someone actually saying, like, a snippet of what I went through or what other people went through, maybe they'd have more compassion.
Right. So, okay, so this lady was your friend from church or
ministry? So it was kind of like that era. So we're in uni, and it was kind of like pre-lockdown, so there was a lot of like ministry, like a rise of like kind of youth ministry.
Right. Okay.
And I met her at like one that was focused on like femininity and girlhood. I keep on almost saying the name, but they were very intimate.
If you do, we'll bleep it out. We're not trying to do that.
Intimate Bible studies or discussions on,
Mm-hmm.
you know, how to be like a godly woman, all of that jazz.
And what is it that drew you two together to become friends? Because it's not like someone that you grew with, right? Do you know what I mean? So, you know, around that time was like 4 years ago now, around that time now?
Yeah, probably. That
Yeah.
sounds right. Yeah. What drew
4 or
us
5,
to be together?
maybe 6.
I think I just wanted to, primarily, like, I wanted to be closer to God.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think this is a group of, like, black girls or black women who were trying to do that in what I would have storified as a generation of worldliness and darkness. And I think I wanted people who looked like me, who came from similar backgrounds to me, that I could relate to and discuss things on a mutual level.
Okay. And was she around your age?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, you guys are similar ages and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, looking back on it now, did she ever explain herself?
She essentially had this impression that God had revealed to her that Josiah was to break up with me because she saw him with a slimmers, a skinny babes who was a bit taller than him. What else was she saying? Like, he would look after him better, he would love him and accept him for him. And it just went on and on and on. And then you could tell that she was kind of trying to insert herself into the prophecy by saying, like, she had a dream of herself and she was very chaste, and that marriage is not in the plan for me.
Really?
Yeah. And
Okay.
I'm just a feminist, like, and I'm never going to be married because I'm a feminist kind of vibe. And that he needs to prioritize himself.
Okay.
And just there was a lot. There was like probably 5 voice notes which are all around like a minute each. So it was a whole.
And this is
chain.
and I'm sorry. Because she was chewing at the same time, which really annoys me. It annoys me on a good day, but on a voice note as well. And then to come and disrespect me while chewing on a voice note is actually a bit insane.
As well, like, if you're going to try and be slick, because for me, I'm like, you got to know what you're doing. Do it so it's not traceable. Like, you actually sent that. And you didn't delete the voice notes.
But why, do you know, I wonder... And I don't want to speak out of turn or anything like that, but I was just like, she sounds comfortable.
Very comfortable.
Do you know why, if there's a reason for her comfortability in that?
I think Josiah, in her psyche, was like a knight in shining armour.
Right, okay.
Because she saw how good of a man he was to me. And at one point, he stood up for her with her abusive brother.
Right, okay.
And from that moment, I remember her being like, oh, I love what you guys have. Because not a lot of people stand up for abusive family situations. And not a lot of people are candid about, you know, just like the things they're going through. And I think me and Josiah are quite, like, warm and safe people. Probably, like, a bit intense in that way. Like, we're very real. So I feel like there's been many times where I feel like people have seen that and been like, okay, I'm gonna say this type of vibe.
Yeah.
But not been aware of the dynamic that we're locked in. Like, we tell each other everything. Like, we're so
everything?
disgusted. Yes, yeah.
Okay. That worries me just a little bit.
Do you think?
I don't know about that for me personally.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, this obviously is a conversation about you, but like, I do think like it's good to at least have a little bit back, because I feel like radical honesty can be very brutal. And if the person that you're radically honest with is your safe space, when that's in also a brutal space, like where do you go? Right. So I think for me, I'm just like, oh, it's a bit too much. But then that's just me anyway.
No, I think you made me realise where there's definitely been moments where I'm like, to just like that's too much. Like, you don't have to tell me every intrusive thought you have, and vice versa. And I think for us, it's been getting as close to that as possible in a way that works for us, because there have been moments where I think I've probably been too harshly honest, or he's been too harshly honest, and it's like, and now we're both triggered. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I think we have had to be quite deliberate about processing like those deeper things. Like in therapy, we've both had therapy.
Okay. Do you have therapy together as well?
We've had therapy together, but we also have it individually.
Okay, cool.
So,
okay.
But I think still I won't take it back that we're still radically honest. Like again, probably we might still say too much, but I don't know. Overall in terms of like preserving the integrity of ourselves and our relationship, it's worked out well, but it can also be a lot. So I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think like, yeah, not necessarily everything.
I mean, it's not for the weak. It's not.
No.
Sometimes I'm just like, why would you say that?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
can't
Not
you see how you
everything.
could have said this or.
And also as well, it's just like that, you know, people sometimes do forget that those, like, actually maybe unaware of what words stick.
Yes,
and what things
huge.
stick. So
Huge.
it's just like, yes, I want you to tell me everything now, and I feel like I can, you know, handle it. But then, you know, 5 months down the line, you'll be like, oh, actually,
Like
I didn't like that. I didn't like that. And now you're living that. So I feel like as long as you're being tactful and you're being kind and you're leading with love, then yes. But like just saying what's on your mind is no. That scares me.
No, it's
With a passion.
No, you're spot on. You've captured something really like kind of symptomatic of that radical honesty dynamic. Like I'll be like, because I think I'd like to say both of us are neurodivergents.
Okay.
Neurodivergent.
Me too, but yeah.
Yeah, neurodivergence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like sometimes like that oversharing, or sometimes just saying things bluntly.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I think that's been interesting to navigate as well. But
Yeah, because you know, I feel like you might have the right intent, but it's like the impact. Like, what is the impact of what you're saying?
And the delivery.
Yeah, delivery, definitely. I've definitely had to work on delivery over the years. I really had to. Do you know? So you got these voice messages. They weren't very nice. You addressed it with your partner, and then you blocked this lady. So she's totally out of your life.
Yeah.
And did you block her because... I remember you saying about you leaving the church and stuff and leaving Christianity. Are you serious?
Yeah, I left Christianity.
Yeah,
I'd like to think I cosplay as a Christian sometimes, which is
Right.
the whole topic. But
Okay, cool.
I'm not a Christian, no.
Do you think, what's the timeline in that? So, like, did this happen around the time that you was leaving Christian faith, or...
I'd already left, but I was still... I've always been open to God. Like, yeah, I'd left Christianity, though. Yeah, I would say. And
Okay.
again, everyone knew that. Like, it was public
Right.
knowledge.
Okay. So do you think that was maybe her attempt of trying to keep your partner... Was that... Sorry, actually, so let me clarify. So when you left Christianity, was it both of you that left together?
Yeah, but
Okay,
people have
cool.
this story that I, the Jezebel witch woman, tempted this holy son of God
Right.
into the pits of hell. When in actuality, he left God first.
Right, okay.
And plus, my leaving God was pretty much like, I had my independent reasons, and also obviously we had shared reasons, but I think people get it twisted that of like how things actually mapped up based on their understanding of like religious stories and stuff. So,
But when you say God, you're not an atheist now, or...
I'm not.
No, okay.
I'm not. I'd say I'm quite spiritual.
Yeah, agnostic or...
Yeah, agnostic.
Yeah,
I'd say I'm
okay,
agnostic.
cool. Although I'm not trying to make excuses, but I try and understand
Yeah.
people. That's what I like to think I try and do. It seems like she's maybe infatuated
Yeah.
by your partner in some sort of way.
That's what I think.
And maybe she thought she was, you know, trying to save him in some sort of way.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's plausible. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, I think people still say it to us this day, like, you need to come back to God. I'm like, I don't know why you're saying this to me. Like, that's not even an objective or goal. It's completely operating in different paradigms. But there is this story of us being like, leading, like, being worship leaders, like, planting our own churches and being used mightily for God as like a married couple in ministry. And I think because both of us are no longer doing that and doing basically the opposite of it,
Right.
I think because of the impact it had when we were both doing that, and especially together, I feel like there's that whole notion of, you know, your partner shouldn't like take away from your relationship with God. Like God should be first. So I wonder, and I think I agree that that might have been the certain narrative, like God's calling is more important than your relationship with Vanessa. So you need someone who's going to support you in that, and that might be me. I think.
Yeah, I think that it sounds plausible that she maybe, and I will say, maybe got a little bit confused because I can't like I can't imagine God saying, "Yeah, I want to split up this family." Like for what? Like it just doesn't make sense to me. So maybe she got a little bit confused. Like maybe it's and she would have to come out and say herself like what her thought process were. But if you're saying that she then attempted to try and make amends and she knows what she said was incorrect, right? So maybe there's just a bit of infatuation, and I hope that you yourself are not internalizing what she said about you.
That's interesting because I feel like by default I have to an extent,
Okay.
and I'm aware of it because I've been always quite body accepting and body positive in general. I feel like I've always been fine with like showing where I'm at in my journey, but I think seeing the whole world see me like get called fat was just a lot. Like because you come onto someone's page or you don't know someone, even if you're walking down the street, you don't know someone's story. So I always feel like because my body changed so radically after motherhood,
Yeah.
and because I was so active before and I've gone through 2 very invasive C-sections that I'm recovering from,
really?
it's
Okay.
quite a touchy topic because I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, like actually like I am fat in some respect. And I think that's made me look into like desirability politics, what I've been taught about body image. And I remember just like going out after that in public with people and just feeling fat for the first time, which is really weird. But I feel like many people do struggle with body image, and a lot of it can be traced down to like childhood,
Yeah.
people's bodies being policed. And I also feel like when someone is so bothered by something, that's probably happened to them too. So
Yeah.
I think I can see internalized fat phobia in myself, or like if that makes sense, because I also don't think, as much as I like danced and exposed her, I have mad compassion for her. One, I don't blast her. Two, I see myself potentially having the same thought at the very least. I wouldn't go to the extent of what she did, but I can recognize kind of darkness and judgmentalness in myself. And I think that's what we need more of.
Why do you say darkness though? Because to be judgmental or have to judge other people is a very natural, normal thing. Like I wouldn't put it on a spectrum of like dark.
I think dark just means like, for me, that's a good way. I think like the negative aspects that aren't really nice. They're not light. Like they don't bring love and...
Yeah, but I feel like, you know, if you've had 2 children
Yeah,
and a C-section,
yeah,
do you know what I mean? And you've survived that,
Yeah.
right? You're here for your children, your partner, and you've been one of the lucky ones that's been able to survive that,
Yeah.
right? And your body is trying to heal itself. Like I feel like that is an achievement within itself, right?
yeah. I'll be honest with you. I know that in my head. I don't know that in my body yet.
Right. Okay.
And that's not even... That for me is really weird because I'd like to think I'm very much celebrating like of other women, but I think because of the voices around me, the people around me, whether that's friends or family, or the social stories, the get in the gym voice overpowers, or be this functional mum is when overpowers the fact that it's an achievement. And that's not by choice, but I feel like that's very much the dominant story, so socially speaking. But I've been consciously tapping into more positive voices like yourself. For example, I attended like the Black Motherhood group conference, But I still think
amazing.
I've still got like a lot of internalized stories of what motherhood looked like.
Yeah.
And recovery. For example, I think I'm one of the first women in my entire family to have a C-section. I'm the second.
Really?
All of the rest of my family had
Yeah.
natural births.
So they can't even relate.
They
to,
can't
to
whatsoever.
What you're going through.
Most people don't understand like the reality of C-section recovery. Like this, I can't even do sit-ups or press-ups.
Wow.
Like because I've got this thing called diastasis recti, which means that my abs are literally completely separate. So I have to go through specific recovery.
And how long does that take?
Well,
usually
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
yeah. That's what I'm just like. I hope you're not internalizing
yeah.
this. You need to, because your youngest is how old?
6 months.
6 months. So
Yeah.
you need to give yourself a break.
No, I do.
You do. You need to give yourself a break.
But, like,
because you're not in control of your body, and like previously you were in control and now you're not.
Yeah.
And it's like you need to, it's almost like relinquish that control, like,
yeah.
and let it do what it does.
Yeah, I'll accept that challenge. I think it's
You
a
know?
beautiful challenge. I think there's also kind of a level of accepting that and then being able to communicate that as well. Because I think by default I still pick up too much slack because I feel like most people don't understand, but I feel like I am loved enough and cherished enough that if I do bring it up, yeah, probably.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Thank you.
No, of course. Because I feel like the world is too harsh on mothers in general. Like, you know, let alone what you're going through. And let alone, like, having, you know, a frenemy, like,
Yeah.
sending voice notes.
I also want to caveat, I'm also a carer for my fiance, so he's got a disability.
Right. Okay.
So I carry a lot of responsibility. I don't feel like I have the privilege to relax as much as I'd like to.
Yeah.
So I guess that might be another contention that I may have.
So you've got a lot on.
I do.
So how do you... Does it have? I mean, do you get breaks? Do you get to chill?
I do.
Do you
I do get breaks.
Yeah, okay. Because it's 2 under 3, like well, two under 4. Yeah,
2 under 4 now. Yeah, but
yeah,
it was 2 under 3.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And how old are you?
I'm 25.
25. Wow.
That's why I needed that coffee earlier. I'm like,
Girl, you're doing it.
I had to do the whole lot.
Susie.
Yeah.
Well, they say when you work hard when you're young, you'll reap the benefits when you're older, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
I need to hear that one.
Yeah. So obviously this person is not your friend anymore.
Yeah.
Right? They've tried to reach out. That's been shut down. How do you go about, like, what's your social circle like? Do you have many friends around your age and that sort of thing? Do you have people you can talk to? Are you open to making new friends?
Yeah, I think in general I'm just distrustful though.
Okay.
Like my prior temperament was to be too trusting. I feel like I'm very empathetic. You know, the curse of the empath.
Yeah.
But now I'm just not that anymore. I can't afford to be. I just have to distrust and you have to earn my access to an extent. I don't mean in a testing manner, but I think the best way to summarize it is kind of game theory.
Okay.
Like, it sounds so shallow, but I'm just going to say what it is. It's like, okay, I know that I'm of value and I will add value to your life. So also what value are you adding to my life? And I'm very forthcoming. I'm like, what do you want from my relationship or friendship? Because I just can't do the whole monitoring spirit, lurking.
But I mean, that was never you, right? Or would you mean like seeing that in other people? Because you weren't a monitoring spirit.
No.
Yeah.
Seeing it in other people, like having people almost like gravitate towards me and they're around me and they might have cool vibes and personality, but their character's off. Like, I can't have that. I need to know exactly what my role is in someone's life, vice versa.
Do you think you can detect that now? Or do you...
I always could detect it, but I just had... I was pursuing the Christian story, the evangelical story. Everyone's a sinner, you must forgive. And I think, again, my prior circles, forgiveness is access. But for me now, forgiveness isn't access whatsoever.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on forgiveness then?
I think one of the things that I agree on is for yourself. I I don't really have like established thoughts on it. I have been surprised at times where I'm able to interact with someone that I used to have so much vengeance for. But I think for me, for you to be able to move forward from something, even partially, you need space, time, and to be supported. But yeah, I don't know. Forgiveness for me is a weird notion. What are your thoughts on it? I don't really. It's been so like sold to me most of my life a certain way, and I feel like it's a new concept to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of it. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I'm not. I've never really been a fan of it.
Okay.
I think it's a bit controversial.
No, say it.
But I don't
might
forgive
relate.
easily. I really don't, and I doesn't mean that it's at the forefront of my mind. And it doesn't mean I'm acting on it. I'm not trying to get, vengeance and all that kind of stuff. But like, I just feel like, why should I? Why
good.
like me forgiving you is doing more for you than it is for me. That's the way I see it. So it's certain people, you will never be forgiven.
No, that's real though, because there's an element of like, was it Maya Angelou? I can't remember who it was, but they were like, if someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them.
Yeah, 110%.
And that's real.
That's the thing, and I think you're right. Actually, like forgiveness is access most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time. And I think there are some things that are actually unforgivable, and I think, sometimes you have to draw that line. You did not have access to me. No way, no how. It's not happening.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't mean that. Because people, and I feel like this is the thing, like I was brought up quite religious as well, but in Islam, and people often, say about like forgiveness and, if it doesn't, it's going to eat you. Like, no, I'm fine. There are some people that I haven't forgiven since I was 5. I'm all right.
These people, the people who hurt you, they're,
Do you know what I
they're
mean?
sleeping at night so peacefully.
Exactly.
For you to be suffering.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like that narrative does favour like the abusers and enablers, and it's often spewed by them.
Exactly.
It's like, forgiveness. It's because that's what they need.
Yeah.
Like people who need God so bad are often the most wicked.
I can see a correlation. I can't lie, I can see a correlation. I'm not anti-God and I'm not anti-belief because I think it's very important and I think it helps a ton of people to have like, do you know what I mean, guidance and a light and faith in general. But yes, I do think that unfortunately a lot of manipulators, abusers, gaslighters use religious aspects to further their plight, let's say like that.
You get it. It's like,
yeah.
Like, also, did you see that whole like Russell Brand scandal?
Yeah.
And what did you think of that?
Yeah, you're 30. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And I'm old enough to know, like, at 30, he was at the height of his career. Like, we liked Russell Brand at that point. Do you know what I mean? Like, really, he was very favourable. He had, like, that kind of cheeky, like, a bit weird, but, like, cheeky, chappy type person, I think it's diabolical that he could even come out and say that. Like, are we stupid? Like, are you okay?
Yeah, just before his like whole new book of like what was it? How to Get Closer to Jesus in 10 Days
or something like that. And searching for a Bible passage, can't even find it. Like, that was embarrassing. I love that clip. I don't usually watch Piers, but like, I did love that clip. That was like something from The Office or something. When he looked to camera, it was brilliant.
That was terrible.
It really was. Seriously. But yeah, men like him, they need to be under the jail. Because if that's what he's admitting, what else? That's the way I see it with him.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm just not. I don't buy it. Are you enjoying this conversation so far? If so, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share it with a friend. Okay, let's talk about leaving the church. What was that process like? How are you feeling about it now?
The process was so painful. It felt like a near-death experience. Like,
Right.
It actually made me feel so depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say it's probably because of my personality type and the kind of story that I was kind of introduced into and played along with. I was I'm very extroverted. And we know kind of if you've been in like religious spaces, especially the church, if you're a good speaker or singer or musician, like you're literally put on a pedestal, and it's a known fact that the more responsibility you have, the more scrutiny you have. So from a very young age, I was very eloquent with like the word, studied the word, did a lot of worship ministry. But I don't ever think I was actually really overtly judgmental. Like, I still played rugby. I was around a lot of like queer people. Still,
But were you one of those people who's like, you're cool, but you're judging them in your mind? Or did you generally
no.
just not have that thought at all?
I remember being taught to fear them, and I just like
Oh.
didn't get it. And then I was also by myself. I am bi. Sorry, I said I
Oh,
was.
you're bi.
I'm bisexual,
Okay,
but
cool.
at the time I rationalized it as lustful.
Right.
And something that I had to like kind of like pray out of me, or just be watchful of. But I don't recall ever being like. Maybe obviously I feel like we all. Well, I don't. I recognize. Let me not speak for everyone. I recognize homophobia in myself previously,
Okay.
like at a lower level, but it was no bit where by means like like, oh, gay people are this and that and that.
Right.
But yeah, when I started outgrowing the version of Christianity I grew up in, which was a lot more liberal, like Hillsong, kind of like grace and Jesus loves you and comes you are. I feel like I was more comfortable with questioning who God was, and I always say that I started to pursue by default because I grew up in a very kind of controlling and suffocating home environment. I wanted more freedom.
Right.
So I feel like on my quest to freedom, notably leaving the home and then getting in my relationship with Josiah, and having sex before marriage, it all went to shits from there, to be fair.
Right.
And can I swear or not?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
just
Yeah.
Yeah, and then because we were like we had pastors, we had mentors, like
Right, okay.
we would
So how did they know did they know that you was having sex? Did you tell
yeah,
them?
because the whole like but the whole thing was like confess your sins and
Right.
you shall be healed.
Okay.
And again, we weren't. I don't think liar was ever really in our nature. Like we're just both very like. Actually, no, that's cap. That's cap. I'm talking about myself. I feel like I would rationalize my kind of. I wouldn't outrightly lie. I would just conceal.
Right, okay.
Yeah. But then when I got more into my faith, I had the story that in my meekness, in my vulnerability, that's where God will show up the most. So I started being more vocal in general. Like I didn't see it fit for me to pretend to be this holy person.
Okay.
Yet, like, I was struggling or doing this. Like I was very much like, I do this. I'm going through this, and my relationship with God will help me with that. So I feel like I was just quite honest. My relationship with God was one that wasn't where I had to hide and come to God perfectly. And I feel like this is where I practice like my relationships from, and then in summer I just got punished for it. Yeah.
So what? So in the church, the church they punished you for.
Yeah, I would say, and it's not even like they.
In what way though?
Like so. A lot of the spaces that I grew up in were anti-intellectual.
Okay.
You don't sex before marriage is this. It looks like this, and marriage looks like this. Sex looks like this. Nothing else. Never question that. Don't fight God. Don't question God. When I started having sex after marriage, before marriage, you know, I need my coffee. When I started having sex before marriage, I couldn't reconcile that it felt good, but I was told it's a bad thing.
Right.
And I was told that Josiah didn't love me because we had it.
Right. What? So this is your pastor or someone
it's the
in the
whole
church?
community. Like when I to illustrate the level of belonging I had in the space, it wasn't just on a one church level. Like I was operating at a national level. So, churches, ministry, social media. I was actually being an influencer.
Like a Christian influencer.
Yeah, I was a Christian. I was a Christian influencer.
Okay.
And a lot of my friends who back in the day are literally the most known Christian influencers. So
Right, okay.
I was kind of recognised as literally like almost like a young pastor. Like I could have probably turned around the church and people would have been like, yeah.
Right, okay.
But because I never really believed in hierarchy, like I would just kind of like navigate my faith by treating people like as equal around me. Like I didn't think I had to like go to this person to hear from God and vice versa.
Right. Where does that come from, not believing in hierarchy?
Ooh. I think again, that's a good question. I think it's probably my post-home experience leaving the house.
Okay.
I'm going to more liberal churches. I kind of emphasize that, you know, you can come as you are, no one's better than the other. And internalizing like a more free conception of who Jesus and God was. Because in my house and in my culture, it is very hierarchical. So I think it was just like that whole concept. There's a psychoanalyst called Carl Jung who speaks about this process called enantiodromia,
Okay.
which means when you've gone one way for far too long, the opposite is bound to happen.
Yeah.
So I think hyper control, that being imposed and that being my perception of God, then swung the other way, like naturally, because it was out of balance.
Yeah. So where are you now?
Where am I now? I see like a lot of things as tools to access the divine. I think the divine is important in the sense that I think it's wise for us in this day and age to create meaning that is beyond ourselves, and whatever that looks like for you should be conducive to your growth and those around you. So for me personally, that's so weird. I'd like to say there's some principles that Christianity has taught me that I stay with. In the same breath, I'm decolonizing
Right.
Christianity.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know. Like, it's no longer like I have to follow this thing. It's like I just have to curate a life that I want to live and use these other tools or practices or teachings that might align that, but in the interest of what I may feel is best for me and how I show up for others. That's really wordy, but
No.
yeah,
think I
more
get what you're saying.
principles based rather than like religion.
Is your partner on the same page as you?
I think there's similarities. We're quite high in openness to experience and ideas, so it's always kind of changing. But I think what's really important for the both of us is authenticity, integrity. For example, my recent conversation I had with him was like, he feels like God may be there, but it's definitely not the God that he grew up with. And I think he may see God as just like the voice of consciousness, and his voice that kind of orients him towards being a better man rather than, okay, God is a man and men are dominant and all of that thing. I think he recognizes like God in himself and others. That's my theory, but yeah.
Okay.
And I might think the difference between me and him is I feel like I'm like looking into the ancestral stuff. Like I just like dibble and dabble in different things. Buddhism, Taoism.
Right, okay. So you're looking for the commonality.
Yes.
In
You summed it
everything.
up.
Okay.
Yes, I like that. Yeah.
What about your children? Because you both were brought up in a very seeming similar, like quite strict
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
And that kind of gave you a lot of guidance and structure,
Yeah.
which you've ultimately turned from. What's the plan to navigate? And you might not have a plan at the moment, but to navigate that with your children, would you want them to have a similar structure?
I like this. I think I'm very privileged to say that Josiah studied religious education at University of Oxford. So he's a teacher.
Amazing. Yeah.
And so is his mum. So
Congrats.
kind of exposure to different religions has always been there. Her nursery is actually ran by like a Christian family, so they've integrated like once a month that they go to church to sing songs. And we were both like, "Oh, like we don't want anyone to like impose stuff," but she actually likes it.
I guess like maybe when you was a kid, you liked it too.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, does that sit well with you because you had some positive experiences?
Definitely. But I think what the actual caveat is that we've integrated into our parents that we expose her to different things. So at one point, before where we found now, because we actually do go to church, 1 week we visited Gurdwara, a Sikh place. We visited like a reformed synagogue, like the more spiritually liberal places.
Okay.
I've taken her to lectures, conference, still very big on science. So just exposure to different environments and also just like philosophy as well.
Yeah.
I just feel like I don't want to I don't want to be dogmatic in the way I parent her either. I don't want to be like anti-religion or because that's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like trying to be there and expose her to like different ways of thinking, but fundamentally teach her as much critical thinking as she can, and just empower her to be like an autonomous individual that makes well-informed decisions rather than like runs away from a certain way of lifestyle because it doesn't fit the way that we've raised her. Like I'd like her to be able to question us.
Yeah.
Like I'm prepared for that.
I think that's important actually. Yeah. Like my dad was basically a religious leader. He was an imam. He had a whole congregation of people and everything. And one thing he used to say to me was that he was a man before he was Muslim. Like when we asked questions, like he wasn't negative about it in any shape or sense. Like he's like, it's good to ask questions. If you're asking questions, then you're on the right path.
Wow.
So yeah, so like I think I don't know. I have a different, very very strange view of religion in that sense. But I think like what you're saying is a similar thing, you know. Just like if you learn about different things and you can ask questions and then ultimately choose for yourself, right?
Yeah, I don't see my kid as my property. I see her as my responsibility. And I want us to raise her to be self-sufficient, but also know that we're there. I don't want my child to be like me. I want my child to be better than me.
I mean, absolutely, yeah.
Get it?
Yeah. In terms of like your relationship, how's your relationship doing now?
Yeah. I feel like our relationship's in a good place. I feel like we still have to contend with the aftermath of a lot of the things we went through socially.
Would you meet on social media or
No, so the depth of us being ostracised from our community was also included homelessness.
Right, okay.
And estrangement from family.
So what did that, was you in hostels or?
Temporary accommodations, so across.
Okay.
Well, when I was pregnant with my first daughter, we lived in 13 different places.
Jesus.
We've only just moved into our permanent accommodation, like 8 weeks ago.
Wow.
So the past few years have just been, well, since 2022, it's just been instability.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's a lot.
So I think the bulk of the issues we had to navigate there.
But how though? What occurred in that situation for you to be in that?
We were both living independently whilst we were studying.
Right.
So he was at Oxford, I was at University of Birmingham.
Okay.
I did not want to go home because I did not have a good relationship with my parents.
Right.
To an extent, I still don't.
Right.
Because they're hyper traditional. They believe like I'm their property and that Josiah must pay bride price to.
Right. Okay.
Own me, and they stubborn like we stubborn. They're not letting go of that anytime soon.
Okay.
Why?
What? I'm curious though, because I know a lot of, obviously there's a lot of us that are, you know, have similar. Where are you from? Sorry,
Zimbabwe.
Zim, yeah. Have you know, similar type of thing. Why have you pushed so hard against that?
At the time,
yeah,
I was still practicing like a very Western type of Christianity, which obviously demonized traditional practices.
Right.
And a lot of what we call Lobola, the Zimbabwean practice, is actually ancestral.
Right.
My dad took us to go watch how it works, because obviously Josiah's not from Zimbabwe, he's like completely different cultures, and they were talking about like, if you don't pay this, the ancestors gonna come and get you and all of this stuff. We were like, this is not of God, we can't practice in this. Paired with also kind of narcissistic abuse
Okay.
and honor-based abuse.
Okay.
Beyond that, which I've actually, I'll plug my book if I can. The Wingless Lover is a memoir I wrote on my entire journey of actually what happened in my deconstruction, where I actually go into length about that.
And
yeah.
deconstruction, you mean of like leaving Christianity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
okay.
also cultural.
And cultural as well.
A lot of the Christianity that people practice is more cultural, and it's a mix and match. And then people will kind of insert their cultural practices and say that it's biblical when it's actually not.
Yeah, that does happen across all religions, I think. Interesting. I've never really heard of that before because I'm Nigerian, right?
Yeah.
And there's definitely like a duality that you see, that even if someone's a Christian or Muslim, they still tap into aspects of the tradition as well. And that is not seen as a challenge to their religion.
Yes.
Why is that different for you?
Here, I've grown up here. Respect is mutual here. I'm used to direct communications if someone has a problem with me and vice versa. And I think it's by default you just respect someone, right? Whereas one of the one of the leading campaigns in African households is honor your parents. And honor for people like my parents isn't something you do willingly. It's basically worship. Like, you must say that they're always right, and you must do exactly what they say. Otherwise your life will be hell and you'll go mad. That's the kind of household. If you do not wear what I want you to wear, if you do not say what I want you to do, if you do not do things this way, you're not my child and you're going to hell.
Right.
So that was my upbringing.
Okay.
Until this day, I'm being held to that standard.
Does that ever change? Because like in aspects of my culture, I would say that as like, say maybe someone's unmarried, you might not get the same, I don't think it's as extreme as what you're saying, but like you might not get the same level of say in a situation, or maybe not taken as seriously. But once you get married, then you get it's like you go up a level, and now like, you know, you're the head of your own household or the woman of the house or whatever kind of thing. So it changes. Does that not happen?
That's the story, but just I'm sorry, like, people make all sorts of stories. Like, I just don't see it changing. I just see something else becoming the problem. Like, I think that might minimize a lot of the drama. Because at the end of the day, I think a lot of the reason why people try and preserve cults is because of a lack of identity, lack of stability. My theory is that in my family, Zimbabwe is only like just became independent in the 1980s. So that's quite fresh. And you can still see colonialism everywhere. And a lot of us had to leave Zimbabwe. The country's doing horribly. Yeah. I feel like a lot of it is just trying to maintain a culture they think is dying out. Or also just on a maternal level, fearing abandonment, feeling like your kids are your identity. So if they go and do their own thing, then you're dying. So I just feel like by default, if you don't acknowledge things for what they are and instead say, you know, God says this or this, that, you just keep on like projecting it onto every situation. So until like my parents do that work, I don't think it's going to be different. I'll be so real.
Do you think they can do that work?
Yeah, of course, but if they're not willing to, then I can't force them.
Okay. I ask that because obviously the culture would be different and the times are different. I have this problem as well. Like, I have older people in my family that are just it's just so difficult to communicate because they are so, like, culturally we are different, like ultimately we are different. And I've just put it down to like I don't think they can do it. I think it's too much of a shift from their identity and they're too far gone, so it's too much of a challenge for them to make the change.
Yeah, and the worst thing is my parents are smart enough to know. My mum literally said to me, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I'm like, but you ain't old. That's what I said to her. But my whole thing is, I think I'm still like struggling to navigate it because part of it's like, bun you, I don't need you. Like that's my mentality. But I'm looking at how much like they love like their relationship with my daughters, and I'm like, ooh. And I'm seeing like how they've improved in many respects and compromised. And I'm seeing that I can actually tell them like the honest truth and still stay in that environment and not feel like I'm that little girl who has to run away anymore. So I just feel like, honestly, at the moment, like the last conversation I had with my mum was essentially just like, she sat me down and was like, I didn't understand all of the like crash outs you had. Obviously, this is me like slangifying it. Can you sit down and tell me what I did to hurt you? I listed everything. She either said it didn't happen or that she's never wrong. And that the only thing she's going to apologise for is being an African mother. To which my response was, this is why your relationships with your kids will only go to a certain extent. Because for me, accountability is a key factor. You need to know that you've hurt me and admit that for us to have a good relationship. Otherwise, you just don't care about me. So I've had that conversation, and normally I would just like be like, bye. But I was able to say that, and I'm like, I'm still in the room though. Like, I'm still here.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I probably keep doing that, she'll know that this whole story of her being abandoned and might dissipate. It may or might not. But at least in the process, I've told my truth. And at least I have my own home to go to. Like, I'm not living with her anymore. But it is, it's a lot. But
No, it's interesting because I feel like maybe there's hope there, because if she's asked you to even vocalize that, there's many African mothers that they're not even asking that question. They're not even asking. They're not even listening to what you're saying or listening or taking it on. Do you know what I mean? Like having that dialogue. So maybe it might take a little. I mean, I can't tell you what to do. Obviously, you're thinking, but like I feel like there's hope. That like, gives me a glimmer of hope.
Can I tell you where the hope is?
Yeah.
You know how image is really important. I can't lie, because she came for my image, I came for her image.
What do you mean? So with your mother?
Yeah.
Oh, she came for your image?
Like, she said a lot of stories that weren't true to my entire community.
Oh,
and
really?
At the time, that's okay. But at the time, I was getting, like, I think at 1 year, like 100 phone calls from different people within my community saying that I'd said this or she said that I did this, and they were just unequivocally true. And at the time, I was just like hormonal pregnant and stuff. And social media was my community. So I was just like outing what was being done, because I tried every aspect of mediation. The mediators were like, we can't get through to your mum.
Right. Okay. I take it back then. So
then she said to me, our relationship will be better when you publicly apologise for what you said.
Right. Okay.
And that's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I've apologised to her bare in private for when I've been reactive.
Yeah.
Because I can call a spade a spade. I haven't always acted out of love.
Yeah.
But she won't acknowledge that she's done any wrongdoing.
Right.
And she wants me to publicly apologise and say that she was never this woman. Which I just can't bring myself to do, because the bare minimum is that you at least recognise that. Yeah. But yeah, sorry. Sorry to touch that.
No. I thought maybe there's some hope there.
But maybe there is. Never say never, right?
You never know. I just know many a person that will not even have the conversation. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? They're not even willing to listen to you, because why am I listening to you? Because I know it's rubbish, you know? So at least there was that. But I think it's difficult sometimes with our parents because they're just from a different time, and that's not really an excuse. It's like the reality of it. And the older you get, the more that makes sense to you. Yeah. That actually, like, because I think it's weird, like my generation definitely we're used to change because so much change has happened in our lives. Whereas the previous generation, not much changed.
Yeah.
Right? In terms of like things like technology, how you interact with society, all the things like, do you know what I mean? A lot has changed in our generation. So it's different for them. That's what I use to help me understand that there's a block here. You know? So
Yeah, it is definitely. I always say like I'm a rookie in relationships. Like I'm a flipping, what do you call it, 7-year-old adult. Like you start counting from the age of 18. Do you get what I mean? Like 18. Yeah.
I hear that. I hear that. Okay, cool. So working on relationships with family or not so much. Partner relationships doing good. Yeah. Okay, cool. Because there was a big... Yeah. I don't know if you're trying to convince me or...
No, I just feel like we literally... our problem is that we probably argue too much. Okay. But, like, not even serious arguing, like, debating. Like, yesterday we spent, like, 2 hours arguing about capitalism.
Right.
And it's like, that's fun, but let's just have, like, some softness more. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah,
so it's not, like existential, like, problems. It's just, like, capacity.
Yeah.
Because of parenting.
Yeah, you're tired.
That's literally it. We're just tired and overstimulated. So, yeah, that's what I'd say.
So now I'm just going to ask you some very random questions we can get to know you a little bit better. Even more so. Okay, cool. So, first of all, if you could go on any reality TV show, which one would it be?
It would be Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but like the version... Could I create my own one?
Yeah, of course.
Like literally my own family.
Okay.
Like everyone following my family around because we'd be rich if you saw all the drama.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
On both sides. Yeah. Can't make it up.
I love that. Yeah. What is the best piece of advice that you ever received?
Oh, I like that a lot. Ooh. I think... Who is it? I really love Africa Brooke.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about. Cool yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it was her. I believe it was her. But I think she spoke about, like, not shaming your emotions and honouring all of them and observing them. I feel like, historically and socially speaking, we're taught to demonise certain emotions, like rage and anger and sadness and all of these things. Thus for suppress them. But I've seen a lot of, like, rising in, like, literature and media basically saying, no, like, honour your rage, honour your anger.
Safely, obviously.
Safely. Don't let it shape you, though. Yeah. And, yeah, I think that's been really important to me. Because now, when rage comes, I actually pause. I've been very reactive. I've got a big mouth. Like, now I'm like, oh, wait, like, what is this saying? What is this indicating? How can I grow from this? How can I kind of vibe? Sometimes I do just crash out because I feel like it's important to crash out sometimes. But I think being more...
you got a safe space to do that.
Yeah, because being more deliberate with processing and honouring all of my emotions. And I think that's the most solid advice I've given.
I really like that.
Sorry. What about you?
I really like that. What's the best... That's a good question. It's between just do it or you ain't got the money till you got the money.
Damn.
So it's those two. Basically, just those two. I feel like that's how most situations in my life, like, just do it. Just whatever you think you want to do, if it's like in your mind, just give it a go. Just do it. Like, I love that. Do it, like, feel the fear and do it anyway.
I love that.
Because I'm quite a fearful person. Like, I have a lot of anxiety and stuff, but I do stuff. So people think I'm confident because I do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm not missing out on the experience, but inside I'm anxious.
I hear that. That's relatable.
Yeah.
That's really relatable.
Do you know what I mean? But I like what Africa is saying about rage there. I think as women also, we're definitely shamed for being angry and showing any sort of, like, rage and anger and stuff. So Yeah, I think it's important to express that, but obviously safely, and also making sure, like, especially when it's about someone that is directed to the right person, because I think a lot of our stuff it goes to the wrong people. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, no.
You're spot on.
No.
You're so spot on, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Okay, last question. What is one thing this conversation has reminded you to do,
Ooh,
if anything?
I like that. I feel like you've refreshingly challenged me.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like to focus more on the reality of life and the beauty and strength that I possess. Yeah, I just feel like, yeah, especially the part about, like, that's an achievement, girl. Like,
Girl.
yeah. I'm just like,
Seriously.
bro, like, you're right. Kind of just like zoning in more on the goodness.
Yeah. Be soft with yourself, man.
Yeah.
You know?
I appreciate that.
Well, thank you, Vanessa.
Thank
It's
you.
been really lovely hearing your story and getting to know you a bit better as well. Wish you all the best. When is your book out?
I need to get it out. It's
Okay.
just been sat in the archives, and now I'm like, been like sending out queries and stuff, but
Yeah.
now I feel like I'm gonna get it out somehow.
Okay. Where can people follow you?
Okay, at Amarula Core on Instagram and TikTok.
Amazing. That's it for this episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share with a friend.